Hello, everyone. How are we doing today? Now, today's lesson is ratio and proportion. Now, ratio. If A and B are real number and with B not equal 0, the ratio of A to B is a quotient A over B. All right. Now, what about express the ratio in the simplest form? Okay, the ratio of a 385 to 440. So we have a 385 over 400, and I have to find the simplest form. This is not simplest form because I still can reduce, right? So once I reduce 385 and 400, 440 is not 440. Okay, 440, not 400, 440. All right, so therefore we can reduce both. Can we reduce by 5 of both? Yes, reduce by 5, reduce by 5, and I got 77 for this. Reduce by 5, I got a 88. Now here I still can reduce by 11 for both. 11 reduced by 11. Reduced by 11. So therefore I got a 7 over 8. Okay. Next problem. 432 over 504. All right. So once I reduce this, and I can get a 6 out of 7. Right. So simplest form. Next, proportion. If A over B and C over D are two ratios, and A over B equals C over D, this equality is called a proportion, right? So A over B is a ratio. C over B is another ratio, right? Now two ratio, we put an equal sign, then that is a proportion. That is a proportion, okay? So here, I have a problem for this. No, just a second here. The equality A over B is equals C over D is a proportion. Okay, so if this and this ratio is equal, which is a proportion, then we can find A times D equal B times C. So that's why we say cross multiply. When we say cross multiply, and we use a proportion, okay? Now here is a problem. Now we can finding out what is the x, right? So since this is a proportion, right? So we can cross and multiply. We take a 12 times 45, which is 18 times the x, right? And here we have a 540, which is equal 18x. So both divided by 18, divided by 18. So x is equal 30, right? 30, right? Next problem. Again, we cross and multiply. Cross and multiply, we have 21x, which is equal negative 70. 10 times 7, negative 70. So both divided by how many? 21, x is equal negative 10 over 3. And we can say this is a negative 3 1/3, right? And so that is the how we use how we solve for proportion, okay? Now here is a problem, what problem we can do, okay? Now we can use the proportion and to solve the whole problem like this. If there should be 3 tractors for every 4 farmers on a collective farm, how many tractors are needed for 44 farmers on the farm? So now here we have tractors in over farmers ratio, right? We make it as a farmers. So every 3 tractors for every 4 farmer, right? So now we want to make another ratio. Now another ratio is how many tractors, which is X, are needed for 44 farmers, right? For 44 farmers, how many? So again, here we just like a cross and multiply, right? Now cross multiply, we have 3 times 44, 332, 4 times X, 4X, right? And both divided by 4, so X should be able to get 33, right? So that is how we use the proportion to solve the problem like this, okay? Now here, another problem. A kilometer is a bit more than 6/10 of a mile. If the speed limit along a stretch of highway in Canada is 100 km/h, about how fast can you travel in miles per hour and still not break the speed limit? All right. So here I would do 1 kilometer. All right, it's a little bit, more than 6/10 a mile. 6/10 a mile. All right. So now if I have 100 kilometer, and then how many miles, right? Again here, we cross multiply, right? We cross multiply. So therefore, we have 1 times X, which is X. 0.6 times 100, which is 60, right? 60, right? So therefore, cross multiply 0.6 times 6, which is 60. So X, which is equal how many miles? 60 miles, right? So this is how we find out the answer, okay, for this problem, okay? We use the cross multiply because this is a proportion. So therefore we can do cross multiply, right? Two ratio, they are equal, right? They are equal, so therefore we can cross multiply, okay? All right, so now, next problem. The ratio of John's salary to Mary's is 3:4. If Mary earned 4,000 per month, and how much of a raise will John have to receive to make a ratio of his salary to Mary's 4:5? Okay. So now we're gonna solve for this problem. All right, so now take a look. John's salary, Mary's salary, right? That this is before raise. So which is before raise 3:4. I know Mary's is 4,000. But what about John? I don't know. Put on the X. Okay, put on the X. Now we have a 2 ratio, right? Can we cross multiply? Yes. We can cross multiply, and then we have 3 times 4,000, 12,000, all right? And which is equal 4x, right? And both divided by how many? Both divided by 4, X is equal how many dollar? 3,000. Now $3,000 is what? John's salary before raise, right? Now, after raise, what happened? After raise, the ratio change. They change how many? They change to 4/5, 4/5, right? And then, do I have information for John's salary? No, still I don't know what's the John's salary, right? Do I have the information for Mary's salary? Right, John raised, but Mary did not raise, so Mary still have 4,000, right? Now again here, we cross and multiply, then we can find out how much money is John's salary after raise, okay? So 4/5 equal Y over 4,000. Again, we cross and multiply, we get the 16,000, which is equal 5Y, right? Now next, divided by 5 for both. How much for Y? Y is 32,000, right? 32,000. This is after raise. This is before raise, right? Now how much raise? So therefore, the question asks how much raise. So therefore, we take a 32,000 minus 3,000. So now, therefore, I got $200. So no, I know John's salary increase, has raised for $200. All right. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy this video, and you have a great day.